Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. Would I be able to hear you? No sound. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning. Can anyone hear me? Okay, can anyone hear me? Private chat. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me now? Okay. Um, do I want to believe that we can hear your voice? Awesome. Okay. All right, that's awesome. Okay. I want to believe every other person is muted. I'm the only person speaking. So I'm going to assume that. Welcome this morning, and apologies for the few minutes of delays that we've had. I've had to do a quick change of plans with regard to the system I was going to use. So allow me to just open the file, and then there we go. We're going to get started. So this goes off. Next up. Okay. Share the screen. Entire screen. Just. Okay. Welcome and good morning to every one of you. I will be speaking today on Tableau. I will be your facilitator for the next 1 month, 4 Saturdays on Tableau software. So I'll quickly start but I'll do it very swiftly by just introducing myself. Who am I? My name is Etido Ekwere. I'm a speaker, and I speak around personal development, project management, and data. My passion, I love to unlock the voice of data, particularly when it comes to social and sustainable development. I'm a professional trainer, and I've been privileged to have my training services make an impact on, as at the last count, because this is my old profile, I have reached 33 countries and 6 continents. I was pretty blessed last week when I had to train people from Australia. So Australia made my sixth continent, and then the 33rd country. I've been quite decorated as a data analyst with 2 service awards in Tableau. So as a featured author in 2021, in 2022 and 2023, I also became a public ambassador. Interesting. I'm also tipped for another ambassadorial year for 2024. So you can go on the community and give me your vote if that resonates with you. Okay, I manage a company, or call it that I get shit done for a company called Nimach Consult. So I'm their shit done manager. So that's a bit about me. My certifications and education are on the left side. You could check me out on, if you scan the QR code, You will be able to access my LinkedIn and know get to connect. I'm very happy to make new friends. Yeah, I love making friends, put it simply that way. Companies I have served, I've been privileged to serve a few companies both inside and outside Nigeria. And these companies include, not all here, but quite a few that I have worked for. All right. Having said that, let's get to the work for today. I just want to believe that not very conversant with StreamYard, but I want to believe that you're seeing everything I'm sharing and you can read my views. All right. So I see someone says, great profile. Okay. So I believe you saw what I was talking about. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Okay. I wouldn't spend so much time in the intro. I'm going to go a lot into practical works. So, what is Tableau? An interactive data visualization software. The tool is used for effective data analysis and data visualization in the industry. Again, all of you know that. It's a drag and drop interface, more or less what you just heard from Power BI. So, it's a contemporary with Power BI. So, you have nothing to bother about. If you could understand Power BI, then you can so easily understand Tableau. I think the UI UX of Tableau is a lot more friendlier. You would find it a lot more friendlier, but I'm not trying to woo you into our network. Yeah, but as an ambassador, what else do I have to do is to woo you closer to us. Yeah. But in the scheme of things, because of the career you've chosen, it's always a good practice for you to get acquainted with all applications. There are a lot these days, from Google Studio to Looker to Power BI. You could actually also pull in the likes of Tableau, Power BI. I've mentioned that already. There's another one called Multiverse or Multi-Services. So you can actually look them up. Now, the good thing is, if you understand one, you can actually replicate the knowledge around the other ones. Yeah. Okay. Now, so for today, what are we going to try to cover? We're going to try to cover understanding the whole suite around Tableau. We're going to try to cover getting around the room when it comes to Tableau Public. And we're also going to try to cover how to connect to data, how to visualize data, what is a continuous and discrete measure, dimensions and measures, max card, filters, data types, and then we'll put it all together in a simple little dashboard. Okay, again, it's good that you understand so that when you hear things, you will not be confused around what is Tableau and the whole product suite around Tableau. I'm sure you know a few about Power BI, you have the DAX, you have the fabrics, you have, you know. So I'm going to walk you very quickly around it. Now, when you go to data cleaning and data prep, there is a customized software for it called Tableau Prep. This is really robust in the area of data wrangling, cleaning, and all of that. So you will find this very useful. Yeah. Now, when you go into the art of visualization, then that is where you would spend time with desktop or public. Now, what is public? Tableau Desktop is a paid platform, which means that you have to pay for it monthly or yearly as the case may be. However, Tableau was magnanimous enough to be able to extend its services to every other person to say, all right, if you can't pay for it, use the one online. And then they've given us Tableau Public, which is what I asked that every one of you should download yesterday. It's actually as robust enough as the desktop, just with a few changes, very slight changes. You wouldn't even notice it sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Now, but if you can navigate public very well, you should do well with desktop anytime, any day. Yeah. Now, once you are done with building your work, you want to push out your work for people to be able to see, and that's where you go into the space of what Tableau Public itself. Now, it's an online environment where you can create your profile, and your profile can be seen for what it is. And when it is seen, people can engage you and meet you, and they could request for you to work for them. I'm just going to briefly just show you what a profile looks like. Yeah, that's my profile. Um, that's my profile. Who I am, name, a few things. You could just write a few things about yourself. Yeah, and then you could actually post your work. Now, this is where someone could hire you right from this place. Yeah, if your work resonates with the kind of thing they're trying to do, you could get hired from this place. Yeah. The community also sees you and connects with you. So you could, yeah, you could have you have community engagements even from here. Yeah. So this is what a profile looks like. So I would send you the profiles. You can go check them at your own time. Yeah. Okay. Having said that, everything normal today's class lecture, including sound, picture, and whatever. Okay. Okay. Because I'm navigating screens, I may not be able to monitor the comments on the chat. Yeah. But if I think you should be able to, is there a way you can raise your hand just in case you need to grab my attention very fast or do something that might need to grab my attention? Because I'm navigating screens, so I may not be fully um, locked up on the chats coming in. Okay, so having said that, let's get back to the Tableau suite stuff. So that's the public. So what is the server? The server is when you have an in-house company, let's say Bayes University, and we don't want to put our things out there for the whole world to see. So it's not for the public, it's for a community, a locked community. Now, the beautiful thing about a server is I have a server account, but I don't want us to waste time going around that platform. We've got very little time. So I'm going to try to, even though I might stretch your time a little by 10 minutes so that we try and cover everything we need to cover. Now, but one interesting thing about the server is that the server is locked for a community, so you don't see it outside. And the beautiful thing is you can actually share work. So I can share a work with you and we can collaborate. So if there were things I did not see, you can help me to tweak it, and then we get a better work for the community to see, for our office or corporate community to see. All right. For today, we're going to be talking a bit about desktop, which is the tool where we do what? The visualization and analysis, where you work. So desktop and public these days are pretty much merged, like the one you already have installed. Can I believe that everybody has installed their public account? Do you want me to believe that you've all installed your public account? No hand raising on YouTube. We can just post and get your response if necessary. Oh, okay. All right, that works. Okay. I'm trying to flip around so that I see what you guys are saying. Okay, so I want to believe everyone has downloaded their public account, and then we can go. Is there a link for the class, please? I think someone is supporting me on this, and my will engage with the chats more than myself. I will just keep talking. So I believe you've done this, so I'm going to walk really past that. Let's get started this morning with how do we connect ourselves to the data set that we have to do. Now, before we go into that, so let me open the data set that I wanted you to do. I'm just going to try to open the data set. This is the data set. So I'm going to open it up. Where is it? Desktop. Today, higher education. So I'm just going to open this up so that we all can see it. Now, this is a data set, and I have done this work prior to this time. So I'm going to also show you where the end goal is. What are we trying to achieve? So this is what the end goal looks like. Now, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for anything. I mean what I'm saying. Let's take the analysis for all the journey we're going to try to do. But this is what the end goal I expect you to put something together would look like. So what I'll be able to do for you in the next 1 hour is to give you a rudimentary knowledge that will help you to put together what I have put together here. Yeah. So stay with me as I get you started. Now, before I get you in neck deep into the whole idea of building these a dashboard or an analytics, now I want you to appreciate the fact that it's not all the time minimum requirement. What do I do? Oh, Stella, I'm not sure I can help you guys this morning with that decision. Please, the group, what do you call it? The Telegram channel. I'm sure both all of you can engage with each other, support each other. Yeah, and then the detail that the blog I shared was very detailed, and those that reached out to me yesterday, I spoke to them. Yeah, so if you're going to reach back to me this morning, it's already late, and I might not be in the right mental space to go back over it. Most of you were having network problems, so please, sir, can you drop the link to download the everything is on the Telegram channel, Victor. Please pick it up from there. Yeah, so that we don't go back and forth. Yeah. Okay. Now, having said that, I want to show you guys a simple little real trick that happens in our everyday life. There are times when I have been given a data set that I never knew what that data set was about. I was literally as confused as you. So you would ask me, how do you go about when you don't even understand what the data set talks about? Now, I'm going to give you a simple trick, and then you can build on with that trick. So let's go. I go to your very good friend called ChatGPT, which I know has become a lot of our friends. And I say something like this. Look at it. This is exactly the prompt I give it. I have a data set with the following columns. Student ID, gender scores, submit with the following columns. So when I get to that column, see what I would do. I go to the data set itself. Where is it? Here. Look at it here. I'm going to come here, copy the entire data set. It's easy to copy when you're on Excel. If you're working on a client's database, you won't have that luxury. You have to type it yourself. Yeah. Then I come in here and I paste it here, like student ID, gender. I just paste all those things the way it is. Please provide me. Can you zoom in your screen? Okay, I need to figure that out. I haven't used this before, but just do you want to guide me on how to zoom in? Okay. Should I do this? Is that better? Is that zoomed in? Okay, please. Okay. Now, having said that, I believe I don't know if I'm supporting you guys well enough. Good morning. No. Jennifer, what are you saying no to? Better. Okay. Okay, so I put that out and I say, please provide me on the sort of insights I can derive from this data set. Simple. It's a simple prompt. Now look, the system throws up a lot of conversations, gender distribution, and breaks it down, giving me more details on how I could go about this. Oh, I'm like, thank you. Now I have the basis to go about my analysis. Okay, now welcome. Let's go back to the world of Tableau. Where are we? Tableau. Where is Tableau? Yeah. Now, if you've successfully downloaded your what do you call it? Your Tableau public, your environment should look more or less like this, except for the fact that I have a number of open jobs here. Your environment might be clean here. So if you have this experience, basically what you're going to do is, I'm sure from your previous lessons, you already know that Tableau is that a CSV file is a text file. Yeah. Now Tableau supports a lot of data types. Look at this: Tableau server, Excel, text files, JSONs, assets, PDF, spatial data, more literally. Now, it also supports a lot of servers. You may want to just open this up and see the level of support it has. Oracle servers, Salesforce, Marketing Cloud, Azure. Now, whatever the space you find yourself, you're going to find a connection to Tableau environment. Now, so for today, because we're working on a CSV file, a text file just is enough. So you click on the text file, and then you pick up the file you want to, the file we shared, higher education. Okay. All right. Have you got that? Okay. If you have that, then are you good up to this point? I'm just going to navigate back to where you are. I think at this point, I can choose to share only. So I'll share only my. So I'm just going to present something. And stop screen. At this point, I could share only the Tableau file, just so that every one of us stays glued only to Tableau. There you go. Okay, got it? Now, if we are all here, then your screen should look like mine. Now, I believe that you are here. In this environment, you can actually do a lot of things, but I would reserve that for our next class. Yeah. A few data wrangling could happen here, like you could pivot the data if you want to pivot the data. Have you guys been taught about pivoting data and when you pivot data? Let me just get to the color. Yeah. Have you guys had any information about pivoting data and when you pivot data? Okay. Any ideas about pivoting data and when you pivot data? Okay. What should I believe, guys? Okay. Do I like this application? Not yet. Okay. Yes, on Power BI. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I can. Okay. So you can pivot data and you can do a whole lot more, but I wouldn't want us to spend a lot of time on that today because I want to take you into building your first Tableau visualization. A very simple thing, trust me, really simple thing that will encourage you to continue your job. Yeah. Now, if you've come to this environment, the first thing I would want you to observe in this environment is look at these things. You see the ABC, you can just scroll across to see much of ABCs. Okay, you see this one. This one looks like a world map, kind of, yeah? You have ABCs. Literally everything here seems to be ABCs, yeah? Okay. Now, we will talk about that. It's called the data type. I'm sure you've heard of the word data type. So much of these data sets are all string data types. They are not numerical numbers. Yeah? They are not numbers. So they are more of qualitative data types. Yeah? So if you want to change it, maybe you feel something here was not correct, maybe the SAT was not correct, you tap on it and then you just change it to a number, a date, or something. So you can actually make some of those corrections at this level. But we're not going to make any corrections. The system is intelligent enough. However, you shouldn't leave your work to the system itself. Yeah? All right. So let's come into this environment. You see here, where you have sheet one, the difference between Power BI and Tableau is largely what I'm about to show you now. In Power BI, they have this environment like here. I'm going to take you there. You see the second, after sheet one, there's an icon here. And that icon normally would say new sheet. Yeah, it's where you create new sheets from. There's another icon here that says new dashboard. So Power BI looks like this. a plain environment. You want to do analysis, you drag it to that place and you do the analysis in that corner, drag another one in that corner, do the analysis in that corner, drag another one. Yeah. Now, that's a bit of the difference between Power BI and um, Tableau. So I'm going to show you around the room very quickly. Look at what I'm going to do, then we'll come back to it. So when you want to do one analysis, for example, gender, I'm going to drag gender and drop it here. Don't worry, I'm coming back to all of this. Then I'm going to put student ID here. Oh, don't worry, I promise to come back. So just stay with me. So this is it. What else should we look at? I want to look at something else. So let's look at high school ranking against gender. So the next thing is open this high school ranking. Measure, count distinct. Entire view. Okay, so we've got two different sheets. We could give them any name, you know. Now, you will have to, you see those two sheets here? Can you see them? Sheet 1, sheet 2. So in Tableau, you would bring this one here. It's you who would drag in what you want to come there after you've done the analysis up to that point. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Before I continue, where is the attendance link? Does it make sense, everyone? Can we continue? Are you okay with that? Did you notice that it's a slight difference? Yeah? In Power BI, you have the environment where you just come and you drag things and put, but here you do work on sheets and then bring it to the dashboard. That is the basic difference. Okay. It does, but you were quite fast. No, not a problem, Jennifer. I'm going to detail everything once again. I just wanted to see how it works differently and how it works. So now I'm going to go back and explain them one after the other. Okay, now let's go back and explain them one after the other. So I'm going to undo everything we've done. Now, the very first analysis that we want to, now this is where you go back to your chat GPT and check it out. Where is it? Chat GPT. You check it out and say, what are the kind of metrics that you wanted me to look at? So you're going back into chat GPT. Yeah. And then let's say the first one there was to look at the gender distribution in this result, this exam result. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do was what? I'm going to drag in gender. Now, when I dragged in gender, what did you see? It pulls up male, female. I'm going to drag it into rows. Not disclosed, trans, and all of that. Now, we want to count how many students were actually from a particular gender. How many students were from a particular gender? That's what we're trying to achieve. Abi? Now, having said that, we're going to come right in here. To find the number of students, you look for what you call the unique field. And I'm sure you guys have come up with the understanding around unique fields. The unique field on this data set is student ID. Why? Because no two students can have more than one can have the same user ID. Having mentioned that, so what are we going to do? We drag student ID now into this place. There are loads of user IDs. Can you see that? Just like all of you now, you all have different user IDs. Now, if I want to count the number of students, one way could be that I count all the user IDs. But what if, you know that there's a difference between count and count distinct. So count distinct, like if I ask the system now, I'm sure we're in Nigeria. So if I want to count gender, if I want to count how many males are in this class, let me make an effort at counting all the males in this class. So I'll try and make an effort. It's just a weak effort though. So I'm going to try and make an effort to count how many males are in this class. And let me say 24. A very rough sketch, 24. And let's say the ladies are 27. So 24 against 27. Got that? All right, cool. 24 male, 27 females. Very easy. Now, if I want to count distinct male and distinct female, we are going to have 1:1 because males are males, females are females. Does that make sense now? So when it comes to distinct, it means you are counting, no male is even another male, all males are the same. Yeah? Yeah, primary key, yeah? So with that understanding, another way to understand this is, I'll give you another way to understand this. Let's take, for example, you had 5 visits in a day. 5 visits in a day. Of the 5 people that visited you, Precious came thrice. Precious visited you 3 times. Aliyu visited you once. And then Musa visited you once. Does that make sense? I'll go over that again. You had 5 visits in the day. Of the 5 visits, Precious visited you 3 times in the same day. Aliyu showed up once. Musa showed up once. How many visits do you have? 5 visits. Good. Now, having said that we have 5 visits, when we want to say let's count distinct visits, we only have 3 visits because there were 3 distinct visitors, which is Precious, Aliyu, and Musa. But number of visits, 5. Distinct visits, 3. I hope that makes sense now. Okay? Now, I want to count distinct students. So I'm going to come here. So this is what you do. You drop this down. And then you turn this to what? Distinct count. Distinct count. Easy, isn't it? Very easy. Now you can see that you have more students that are male than female. A few of them were trans, a few of them were what? Undisclosed. All right. Now, if you look at this screen, one of the first things that may be attractive to you is that one of these is blue, one of these is green. You see, the blue or the green are called pills, Pills, which are pills from what? What do you call those things? Like drugs, where you take pills, yeah? They look like capsules, don't you see? Okay, the blue pills are called dimensions. The blue pills are called dimensions. The green pills are called measures. Should I go over that again? The blue pills are called dimensions. The green pills are called measures. What are dimensions? Dimensions are primarily qualitative data. Qualitative data, and I'm sure you know what that means. Whereas the green pill are quantitative data. All right? Okay. Now that you understand what dimensions are and you understand what dimensions are and what measures are, let's look at our dashboard, our system, our worksheet again. It's always a good practice to name your dashboards, and you would see why later in the day. So I'm going to rename this. How do I rename? I right click on the worksheet and click on what? Rename. And I'm going to give it the name gender distribution. All right. You look good already. Now, what can we do to this whole gender distribution stuff? A lot. You see, when you are building an analytics, when you finished pulling data from several locations and you want to build dashboards, your dashboard should have what we call pre-attentive features. Did you get the word? Pre-attentive features. Should I go over that again? Pre-attentive features. It means that if I set my eyes on your dashboard in 5 seconds, 5 seconds, not more than that, I should be able to find out what are you trying to say. If in 5 seconds I can't unlock your conversation, then you failed me already. Now you are like, Etido, that's too much. That's too much of a big deal. It's the truth. Senior management are the people who consume your data. And if they consume, they don't have time. They are very busy people. Yeah, they are very busy folks. And if they cannot make sense of your data in exactly 5 seconds, then you failed them. Yeah. So don't think about style is good, style is great, but think about how do I communicate cleanly and with the easiest possible way. Yeah. We'll talk about that in our last class. Yeah. So that we tie all of that in later. Now, having said that, we're going to talk about this lovely place here called the Max card. The Max card. All right, stay with me. The first thing I'm going to introduce you to in the Max card is this place here, the drop down here. One of the things I want you to always remember is that the system is very intelligent. You see, we just dragged the pills or the fields to the rows or columns, and the system automatically generated a bar chart. Yeah. The system thought for you. The system thought for you and said, what is the kind of thing that you will need? What's the best kind of stuff you will need? So what did the system do? It produced for you a bar chart. Again, one of the things I always warn people when you are building charts is the system is intelligent, but don't leave everything to the intelligence of the system so that it doesn't fail you. Now, best practice is if you are okay with what the system has generated for you, you could just come here and then stick it to a bar. And I'll tell you where this will matter someday. Now, maybe in our next class, yeah, I will show you where this will matter. Yeah. Now, if you don't like that, you could come here and influence. If you like this polygon, if you want to go with a pie chart, which it wouldn't work in this case, but just showing you a bit around the room. So there are different chart types. You could go with a square. It doesn't make any sense really. Yeah. So I would go with what? A bar chart. You could flip it to a line chart. You could flip it to an area chart if you want to. But again, in this case, what you really want is a bar chart. Another way you could manipulate charts is to come to the show me. The system has pre-designed charts already, like this one. It has this one. It's got this one. So it activates only the charts that can work with the kind of data that you are working with. It keeps those ones alive. But again, I think we prefer this. Beyond all of these, there are many more charts you can do with Tableau, which is where we will teach you how to manipulate Tableau to get more charts. So in Power BI, they already have a lot of customized charts for you. But in Tableau, you have to manipulate a few things to get those kind of charts. Yeah? Okay. Having said that, I'm going to close this for now, and then we'll come back here. What did we say? We said that one of the right ways to do things is to build what we call pre-attentive charts. Pre-attentive charts. So let's go with building something pre-attentive. First step we're going to talk about is the label. You see this place, the label. Now, I want to be able to show the numbers here because you see, it's difficult to read this stuff. But before I do that, I'm going to just change the view. So the view, I'm going to change the view to what? Fit entire. So fit the entire work screen. Now, 90% of your work, 90, or let's say 80, I want to be modest. 80% of your work, you will need to use entire work screen. However, there are use cases where you will need to what, play around with what standards, fit width, and fit height. Yeah, I want to believe if next week it's convenient, I will come into class. Yeah, and then we will have one live session at least, so that we can connect a lot more, and I'll show you a few things that will help you make up your mind around a lot of things. Okay. Now, having said that, I said 80% of the time, go with what? Entire view. So opens it up really nicely. Are you good? The next thing I'm going to talk about now is I want to be able to see how many females were there. Now, to see how many females were there, whenever you want to output something on the worksheet, should I say that again? Whenever you want to output something to the worksheet, you use the label marks. How do I do that? I press Control down. If you're using a MacBook, use Command, and then you drag this into this place. Did you get that? So I'm going to come into the chats to see what you guys are up to. There you have it. We can't see your drop down while renaming the sheets. Charles, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking for. That's one good thing about Tableau. It suggests charts for you, unlike Power BI. That's one good thing. Okay. Data set was sent yesterday. Yeah. So please address the issue of dragging student ID. Okay. Can you say what the issue? Can you repaste the question again so that I do it all over again? Okay. I can go over it from the beginning. Make sense? So what did we say here? Just go back there. How did we come to this? How did we convert to this? So we dragged student ID from here, from the table side. Watch me. I'm dragging student ID. I'm dropping it here. When we dropped it here, it's a dimension. Student ID is a dimension. So because it's not a qualitative data, it's a qualitative data, it's not a quantitative data. If you want to appreciate that, we can just come to a worksheet, drag student ID and just drop it here like this. Add all members. These are not numbers. There's a hyphen behind them. So they are not numbers. They are qualitative data. I hope you can see what I'm trying to show you. So what do we do? We go back here. To make it to this, you drop it down. You see, when you stand on that peel, on the student ID peel, when you stand on the student ID peel, you can actually drop these down like pop. You would see a drop down there. You have measure, and then you can convert it to what? Count these things. And you will have what I had there. I'm removing mine now, so you have it there. And whenever you want to duplicate a peel, the word is duplicate. The keyword there is duplicate. You hold Control down or Command down, and then you touch the peel you want to duplicate, and then you duplicate it. You drag it to where you want it to be. That duplicates a peel. All right. Okay. Drop a yes if you are fine. Drop a yes. If you struggle, drop I'm struggling, and perhaps go a bit detailed about where you struggle. Okay, where can I get the data set? The data set was sent yesterday on your group. Yes, okay, so it's 100, yes, so I'll take those for it. For those of you who are still behind, we can't really come back. We don't have all the time. Pick up the data set from the please stay active. We are constantly dropping things on those channels. All right. Now, if you have gotten to where I have gotten to, then you are a gem. Yeah, and you have my love already. Now let's go to the next step. The next step is I touched on the fact that your work needs to be pre-attentive. So first thing I'm going to do here is look at this icon here, the sort icon. Yeah, the sort icon. So I'm sorting it. I click on sort. Did you see that? That sorts it based on the biggest to the smallest. Are you fine? I'm sure you are. Yeah? Okay, let's talk about, so we've been able to look at the label. Yeah? Let's talk about the next one. So I'm going to go sideways, really. Yeah, let's go sideways. So let's go sideways. The next thing I'm going to talk about here is the tooltip. So what's the whole idea of the tooltip? What's the whole idea of the tooltip? The tooltip here, it's, look at this. When you hover on something, look at what I'm doing. I hover on this. Again, I told you, the system is intelligent enough to do a lot of things for you. However, it's not in your place to rely on system benefits. Yeah? You should be able to create your own lock. Yeah? So, having said that, if you want to create, what do you call it? If you want to put anything on the tooltip, let's say, what else should we put on the tooltip? We want to put something like full-time, but I don't know. You will see us use it eventually. So I'm going to put full-time, part-time here on the tooltip. Yeah? Open it up. You would see it come out here. Again, you can come in here and make it whatever font you like. For today, I'm going to use primarily the Arial font. Arial. So that's Arial. So when you see, you have Arial. You see the way it looks now, cleaner. Again, when you came to the label, you can as well go there and give it a font. You could use your own font now. Now, you can play with a lot of things here. The alignment, you can align it to the left. So I'm going to do that for you to see. I align this to the left. I could align this and apply. Doesn't change anything, doesn't change much. Align it to the left, apply, see if it changes anything. Okay, I'm going to leave it at the center. Okay, there is still a lot more you can do. Look at this alignment here. Look at this one. I'm going to drop it down, align to the left. Did you notice any change? It brings the label here at the center, at the end. Left, center, end. You can play with these as you want. Now you could even align it this way, normal. You could align it to this way. You can align it this way. Now I will warn you, when we speak about pre-attentive features, this is a bad way to align your data. But when you would ask me, is there a use case for these? Yes, there are a few use cases for it. Yeah. And as you join the community, you're going to see things that will evoke, that will make you appreciate when to use these and use this. I'm not sure we will have all the time to cover it. But again, if you connect with me, I'm very happy to give you support until you gain all the mastery. Yeah, that's pretty much my gift to you. Okay, having said that, you have these, we're going to go with this. Now, there is another thing I want to show you, which is this way. We can play with, let's leave this for now. We'll come back to that later. Min max. This one says show all the max. We can utterly do only min max. So what that means is only show the minimum and the maximum. Again, there is a use case for this. Yeah, when I come into class, I will show you some of these examples, or let me try to see if I could quickly spot some examples. Uh, 1 hour is a really short time, you know. Yeah, but let me just see if I can quickly spot a few quick examples, and then I will show you instances where you could use the min max, or where you could use boom boom boom. Okay, all right. Not sure I can quickly get one for you at the moment, but I will seek out one for, hopefully in our next session. I will seek out one and show it to you. Okay, so back to class. Okay, where did I stop? Yeah. So we can actually, you can play with all of these and see how they work. Now, even when it comes to the min max, there is a use case where you can actually disable the what, the minimum. Yeah, and only the max would show. But for this environment, what we are trying to achieve will go with all. Everything should show. All right. I think we're good with this, and we can as well come here. This should be fine. Now, you see, again, I'm going to talk about pre-attentive features one more time. When we're dealing with pre-attentive features, there are things you should not engage with. And one of them is this. Look at this. It doesn't really offer you any information. It's called the label. So you could come here, this one, the small gender here, yeah? Come here, right click on it, and say hide field label. Got that? And likewise, I would come here, and what will I do? Because this is not really offering me this, what do you call it? The axis here is not offering me any information. So I will also come here and what, hide this header. It looks cleaner. Again, for that, I like to teach and show you what you are actually dealing with. So for that, I'm going to quickly just share, stop screen. I want to share something to show you what that is all about. So share screen. Let me go with entire screen so it allows me to navigate faster. Okay. Okay, now let's go with this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's look at this. You see, with this one, with these, come on, man. With this kind of charts, your axis was important. Yeah? However, with this kind of chart, you don't really need those axes because the bars already tell the story. Another thing I want you to see with this chart is the fact that these charts look a lot cleaner. They look clean inside. But again, look at this other one. If you can see clearly from where you are, you would notice that I'm going to try to see if I could increase this to 100, okay? Now, if you pull your site a bit closer, I'm just going to see if I can do this. Oh, come on. Okay, not sure how well I will be able to do that. But if you pull your site a bit closer, you would notice the lines. Can you see lines? These are called grid lines. Yeah. Okay. Having seen that, with some of them we allowed a grid line, but with some we cleaned off all the grid lines. There is another line here. Look at this. In this one, there is no line at the beginning. In this one, there is a line at the beginning. But this other one, there is a zero line. Here you have a zero line. So let's go back and have the conversation around those lines. Okay, now stay with me. If you also can see my screen as I speak, then you can see that there is the grid lines show everywhere on this chart. I'm just going to pause for a second and check what you're talking about on. We cannot see your screen. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. Can you see my screen now? So we lost your screen. Can you see my screen now? Maybe tell me what you are seeing on my screen. Present, share screen, entire screen, also share. Not yet. What are you seeing on my screen now? What are you seeing on my screen now? Can you quickly just drop it on the screen? Yeah. Nothing. Your face. Jeez. Okay. Stop sharing. Sure. What are you seeing on my screen now? What are you seeing on my screen? I hope it's a dashboard. Yeah, you and the map. Yeah, we can see it. Okay, cool. I was trying to show you something here. And I said to you that if you look at the work on this dashboard, this one does not have a line at the beginning. This one has a line at the beginning. It's called the zero line. This one has a line at the bottom, the zero line. However, all of them looks clean inside except this one. This one has some lines here, faint lines across the chart. Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay. I want to believe you can see that. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, again, you remember that thing we talked about labels, which I said that another good thing that we could have used labels in this kind of chart. So this kind of chart would have been a good place to use labels to put the highest point and the lowest point. It could have been a good place to use max and minimum. Very good place. You could have used that here. Okay, now that you can see my screen, I'm going to take you back now to our chart. So I'm going to have to vacillate between show windows. So, okay. I hope you can see my screen now. What can you see now? What are you seeing? Just let me know what you're seeing. Dashboard still or Tableau? All right. I think you should be seeing the Tableau. Okay, cool. I'm sure it's Tableau you're seeing. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to go straight into Tableau again and show you how we would do that very quickly. So what are we going to do there? Now, right-click on the sheet like this. Watch me. Right-click, format. Oh, this is a really lovely place where you clean up your sheets. And in this environment, you have font, you have alignments, you have shadings, you have borders, you have lines. I oftentimes start with lines from the left. I start from the right to the left. So let's go to lines. Now, here are we on lines. And if we are on lines, then here is where we go. You're going to go to zero lines. So you see that zero line here. Can you see them? But for now, I'm going to tell you, take everything to none. Where are we? You're on lines on sheet. I'm going to explain what that means. None, I'm going to nullify everything. What you were saying is nullify all lines on my worksheet. That's what you are asking the system to do. Now, there is an interesting thing. The worksheet itself contains not only what? It contains rows and columns. So even when you've given instruction for it to nullify all lines in the entire sheet, sometimes the system is stubborn enough to ignore you. So what do? Go into the rows and columns to check. Did this system ignore me? Because sometimes it's stubborn enough to do that. So I'm going to go into rows and check. Rows, it did very well. It obeyed everything I asked for. Columns, you see, it kept the grid lines, which is why you can still see a few grids in your chart. So I'm going to nullify that chart and say none. Now your work is super clean. Now, I know you might not see some lines because some of those lines don't really show themselves. They are border lines. So you go to the next area, go to borders. Again, I always say nullify all lines. So I nullify from grand total. Rows is none, columns is none. So that's a good shape. So you check it out if it's doing anything. Once you nullify from this, it nullifies it automatically. So I check this, everything looks good. Again, what I am not saying is that those things are useless. I'm not saying that. I'm only saying that depending on the work you do, that's when you will need to bring in some of those things. Yeah, the time is limited and we cannot completely cover how to spend time formatting a worksheet. But again, it's only during use, it's only by use that you will appreciate how these little things work. It's by use and by showing you use cases. Yeah. So, having said that, I'm going to leave the next point. So, I'm going to go to shadings. Primarily, you would use shadings when you want to change the color of your dashboard. Primarily. But oftentimes, I'll tell you to leave it as none. Make sense? So, another place where you might use shadings in this place, you see the row band. See what this can do to us. So, watch me. I'm going to give this a strange color. Let me give it a very dark color. Did you notice what it did? Sometimes you may want to put things in bands, like I have here now. Yeah. Again, I have a use case for this, which I could have showed you, but I don't want us navigating in and out of Tableau. Now, you could use this band size to increase. Okay, if you want to band it by 2, you want to band it by every 2 steps, you want to band it by 3 steps, it's up to you. But best case, you might want to band it by just 1 step. Yeah. Now, when you band it, it's not banding the headers. So you could come here and also band the headers. So you have a full band. But in this case, the use case for what we're trying to do, we don't need all of that. So I'll take it off. We leave it the way it is. So we leave shading alone. We go to alignment. Alignment, my best case is left. For the header, everything I go with left. So you see, when I go with left, what does it do? It aligns this to the left. I believe, and please, this is very personal to me. I have seen different analytics, I've seen different visualizations, but I feel that the left is better used than every other one. Again, please don't quote me that I said everything is wrong. When we go to some areas, which I would love to stumble on, I will show you where you can use center and where you can as well use right. But for charts like this, I generally go with the left. Okay, I won't spend any more time here. I'm going to go to font. Here you can play. This is where your power is. Go again. If you're going to use one font, use that font all through. So I'm using Arial. So I'm going to use Arial all through. Again, speaking about good visualizations, you should avoid playing around with traveling with too many fonts. Yeah, go with one font that resonates across board. Okay, having said this, you can as well come here to the title and give it a name. By default, it takes the name of the sheet. So I'm going to give it my own name, and I'm going to give it gender distribution. I'm going to go faster now. I'll make it bold. I'll give it a 10, and then I'm going to say okay. All right. Are you good? So we have our first worksheet. Make sense? Are you still here? Okay, I'm coming into the chat box now to see what you've been talking about. It's okay now. Help us do a video on how to format dashboards. Yeah, Chima, I'll share a link with you on Telegram, which you can go and spend time on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Having said this, we can actually go one step further to play. Let's do two charts. So we've done these. Let's look at the next chart. What was the next thing we wanted to look at? We wanted to look at high school rating. Now, so where is high school rating? This is high school ranking. So now think about this. If you want to really appreciate these charts, look at them as what we have in our client, which is NECO and WAEC being the basis of the exams. So these are students that went to uni. So they went to base university. Some came in through NECO, some came in through WAEC. That's how you understand this chart. So NECO is SAT, WAEC is ACT or so. Yeah, ACT. Yeah, that's the US system. Yeah, so you understand it up to that point. Now, but from those who came into base, some of them before they came, they were what? They were either high school, they had high school rankings, some maybe top 10 in their class, they were top half in their school, top quarter, and all of that. So we want to see how many of the top 10s in their schools came to base university. That's really what we're trying to see. Again, for you to be able to see this, we have to still compare it based on number of students. And the easy way to find number of students is what we had done earlier, which is student ID. Now, if I drag this again like I did the last time, I'm dropping it here. And then I'm going to drop it here and turn it to a measure and count it. We're going to have a chart. But already, one of the first things I want you to see here with me that it's going to become painful. Every time I want to do something, I have to drag students in and then what? Count it and all of that. You know what I mean? So what am I going to do? I'm going to do this. First thing I'm going to do is I can create what you call a calculated field. Hello, I hope you're still there. I'm going to call this number of students. Make sense? Now, I could have done this like, you see what I'm doing? I want you to see clearly what I'm doing. Now, in this, you are calling a function. These are basic calculations. Yeah? So in here, you're calling a function. So what's the function? Count. Now, if you don't know the functions to call, Tableau already gives you this environment to come here and check all the functions they have. So maybe you come to count, for instance. You can read about count. It gives you a context. Yeah? It also gives you a context for count this thing. So you must put something in there. So count distinct. The context it does is that I must put a qualitative data in there, which in this case is what? Student ID. So I can drag student ID. Now you see, whenever I want to put something in a place like a field, the system will give you like an orange pointer to where it will enter. You see, if I keep it here, it's outside the bracket, which is not where I want it to go. Here, outside the bracket. So I check for where it's and I drop it there, and that would be perfect. If what I have done is adequate, the system tells me the calculation is valid. But if what I have done is inadequate, the system tells me it's wrong and gives you a lead into why it is wrong. Maybe we should try and see an example where it's wrong. Already, look at this. It's wrong. It underlines it and gives you an error message. Count distinct is being called with this. Did you mean a Boolean? So it's trying to give you feedback, but you need to understand these feedbacks before you can make the most of them. Okay. Now, This is one way I could have done this. Another way I could have done this is just simply whenever you want to replicate something on Tableau, on the worksheet, what do? You press Control down and you drag it and it replicates. However, let's say you made a mistake, which often happens when you start navigating this environment. And what did you do? You just went and dragged it here. If you drag it, okay, I'm going to do another example. Okay, let's okay this. So let's say I drag this into column. You've lost it here already. You've lost it here. Okay, so undo that, have it back there. Because now I have created a field. Now watch it here. You see the field here, number of columns, number of students. Are you there? Number of students. Because I have done that, I'm going to be able to what? Play around a bit. And what can I play around with? I'm going to play around with doing this. Look at it here. For every calculated field you created, if you look very closely, you would see an equals to sign, meaning it's a calculated field. Make sense? All right, stay with me. So I'm going to go to the next worksheet, and I hope you know how to create a new worksheet. Here, this button, new worksheet, pop, it creates a new worksheet for you. So this is where we were, the worksheet we had created. And instead of me always having to do this, I would just be dragging the number of students here. And boom, we've got something lovely to work with. Again, to make it look a little decent, I'm going to do this. Remove the fields. Disable this. Get myself, so I'm doing it a bit faster because we already done this before. Take it forward, entire view. So we'll call it what? Let's call it student ranking. You can do the formatting later. We don't have a lot of time anymore. So based on what you gathered from the other side, try and do justice to this. Before I walk out of the room in the next 15-20 minutes, let me just quickly run you through some of the other things you can do with max cards. If you were building an environment where you wanted the colors of each of these to be distinct, but that's riotous, right? Because you don't need that kind of color experience. You could drag these into color, and that will shape your color experience. But in the video I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share 2 videos with you. You can study them. You see how you could use colors to your advantage. Yeah? Okay, so that's what colors do. Help you define colors. Now, if we want to make the bars to be as big as the size of this stuff, I could just use these on size. You see, the bigger bars, the smaller bars, the smaller the number of students, the smaller the bars. So size is used to shape size of things. Again, there is a use case for these. If you go on my profile and check there is an analysis there done for something around Amsterdam, and then there's also something done for the 10 Nigerian biggest stocks. Yeah, you would see how we use size to an advantage, as a way of telling a story. So you can actually go and check that out. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly come into the environment to see if can we move more than one chart can we have more than one chart? Absolutely. Sunday, you can have more than one chart on a worksheet. Yeah. But again, we will come to such use cases towards the very end. Master using one chart per stuff for now. Okay. Now let us try and tie all of these together. So now we have 2 charts. We're going to call this one student ranking. I hope you can still see my student ranking. Now, we are going to build ourselves our first simple dashboard. Again, you might find this a bit confusing, but I will plead with you to go back to the video I will share on the Telegram channel because I did justice to breaking down how this works. You see, when we are building dashboards, you have to think like an artist. Think like an artist. So in this case, we have to think like an artist. But because it's a very simple dashboard we're going to build, allow me to share something with every one of us. I think I should share something. Okay, let me open it, share a Word file. All right, cool. So where are you? Where are you? Okay, so I'm going to share a Word file with you now. And then let's use that for the basis of our conversation. Send us the slides. You will have everything you need, my friend. Okay, I hope you can see the Word file that we have here. Do you? Can you? I believe you can. But just in case you can't, let me know now. Can you see the Word file? It's an empty Word file. That's all I want to be sure you're seeing. Can you see the Word file? Can anyone see the Word file? Can I get feedback? No, you can't see it. Okay. I'm going to do that again. I'll do that again. So, Windows. Can you see that? Can anyone give me feedback? Absolutely. Thank you very much. Okay. You and I know something. We've got two charts we're going to be dealing with. So the first thing we want to do here is simple. Insert. Are you there? So I'm going to think about how to put these two files, and I'm going to think about it in a very simple way. So this is where your artistic mind will come to play. This is where some of you will excel more than some of you, particularly those with a very artistic mind. Yeah. In the community, we've got some great artists, and when you see their work, you think they may not be better in terms of analytics, but they've got real good presentation. But I want to appeal to all of you, even if you don't have a great artistic mind, believe me on something. You can build your mind as you watch what people are doing. You may not be the very best in terms of art, but you will still have a great presentation that can pass anywhere. Yeah. Okay. So first, I'm going to think about it in this way. This is me now. I'm rushing now because we don't have time again. So I'm thinking about it in this manner. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in, here I'm going to type my name and say my first visualization, excuse me. And here I'm going to bring in my two charts. One of them will be here. Yeah, and then the next one will be here. Does that make sense? So this is me coming up with a very simple artistic mind to tell the little story that we have very quickly. Now, if you've been with me so far, then you will realize that this is simple. This is what we are going to try to do. Again, this is the power of your presentation, how you put all of your ideas together. All right, if you got that, I think we can move forward. So I'm going to go stop sharing. And I'm going to take this off. Now, next thing I'm going to do is present. So I'm going to try to represent again from Tableau. So Windows, Where are we? Tableau, where are you? Okay. Okay. Is that all right? Are you good? Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is this one. So we are here now. So remember the artistic mind. The first thing we're going to have to quickly do is called containers. Containers. The way you manage worksheets in Tableau is through the use of containers. Is through the use of containers. Are we there? Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to go and then pick this up. So where are we? Pum, 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 pum. First container I'm going to pick, I'll pick any of these. Either you take the horizontal or vertical, it really doesn't matter. I will tell you later where it matters, perhaps in our next class. I'm going to drag it there. It sticks. Now, my idea, again, a simple idea I would give you is I don't go with this first. I do something else, a cheat way of getting it, particularly when you're starting the use of containers. And I'm going to remove these and show you my cheat way of winning with containers, particularly when you are starting your journey with Tableau. So I'm going to go with text. Text, I'm going to drag it right in there. I'll call it 1. I'll make it of a very big size, 48, make it bold. Come on, you can use 72, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to make it a very big size. Now that you have these, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in another text, because you see, from the work we did, we had 2 levels of containers. So I'm going to do next one. Now you see, when you drag in things, when you drag in an object in Tableau, any object, look at this. I'm going to drag in text. Tableau suggests the place. You can hover, you can actually use, as you drag your mouse, it will determine where that object will be. In this case, I don't want it side by side, which you and I know. Which you and I know. So I want to drop it at the bottom, and I will call it 2. Hey, we're running out of time, friends. So I think I will have to send the video to you. I just got a prompt that we might not be able to extend the time. So the video will be your aid for the next so you will use that video to put the rest together. Okay, but if I can get like 5 minutes extra, I would be so glad. So now you see, text 1, text 2. Now, this is a text. It's not a container. For us to be able to achieve something, now I'm going to be very fast, friends. So allow me to be very fast. So I'm going to drag in a container now under 1. You see, it provides the shading telling you I am going to come in between 1 and 2. You can see that. It's telling you where it's going to come in. And that's exactly where I want it. So I tell it, oh, yeah, come in there. Now, I would now drag in 1 into that 1. So how do you drag in? Watch what I did. When you click on 1, it gives you this place, the head of that 1, the head of that object. You see that head? I stand on the head, and then I hold down the mouse and drag it into the container. Now, if you double click on 1, for instance, the head of 1, it will show you a blue line. It means I am inside this container. Blue lines are containers, brown lines are other objects. Every other object will be brown lines. Blue lines are what? When you double click on them, it tells you the container that is inside. All right. I'm going to quickly do the next one. I'm going to drag in another container, and I want it here. I want it between the first container and 2. It matters where you drop those things. Again, I'm going to drag in these 2 into that container. Now I have this one in this one and that one in that one. I could actually influence the size of this container by dragging it this way, and then influence the size of this other container. Okay, that one is big enough. Cool. The first container, I will call it, because it's a text, I used text already, so I just changed from 1. I will call it my first V's. I'll make it centered because I want it to be really nice, so I could use 1 instead. My first V's. And then the second container, I want to put my two charts in there. So I'm going to drag it. Watch me. I drag it inside. I don't want it at the bottom. No, I want it at the side. Not here, because if I do this, I'm building a vertical container. So irrespective of the kind of container you did, what you do with the container is what matters, particularly when you are putting your second object. If I drop it here, I'm building a horizontal container. If I drop it here, I'm building a vertical container. So I want it here, a horizontal container. And then I'm going to drag in this one and drop it right in here. Make sense? Okay, I can now delete this because it was actually a placeholder. If you double click on this, you will notice that they are in the same container with this other one, while this one is in a container of its own. This is your first assignment. It's for you to go back and see, can you begin to build put the sheets together we will use to build your next container. Now, I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to try to, so I'm going to take you back to where we all began. So higher education. Now, I would encourage you, let me see if I can put on Telegram. So I would encourage you to log on to your own Tableau, log on to your Tableau, log on to Tableau, Tableau public, bookmark this chart. Bookmark that chart. I don't know I hope you guys are all on Telegram. So bookmark this chart. Where are you? Where are we? I don't know if I've reached everyone with the information. I think you can see. Now, bookmark that chart. Try to see what you can do at your spare time. And let me see if I can quickly pull together a, what do you call it? Let me pull together something for you, a video. I would send you another video before the end of today that would allow you to, where did I drop that video? Let me see if I can quickly pick it up somewhere. So I'll send you another video by the end of today. And trust me, if all of you can put yourself together and pick up those the essence in those videos, I would be able to help you guys more within 1 month. 1 month is a really short time to walk you around the room very well. But if you can support me by engaging with the knowledge faster, then you have my support also. Sorry. I'm not sure I sent the right thing. Let me see if I can delete that. Lots of things everywhere. Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to see if I can pull this up. Okay. Before the end of the day, I will send you another video that will help you, that will boost your understanding. So, okay, so engage with, yeah, you can't see my screen again because I've taken it off. I've been asked to round up. So please engage with the video I shared with you. Also engage with the bookmark that page. Go on Tableau Public, bookmark that page so that you don't miss it. Use that as the basis for what? Use that as the basis for your thought to think around what you are going to be able to do at the end of the day. So I want to see you guys bookmark that page and then build something. Now, in our next class, I would favor, how do we do cleaning in Tableau? Loads of ways. Sunday, yeah, you can do cleaning from Excel and bring it into Tableau. You can also do some basic cleaning in Tableau, which I can still show you. I would show you It depends on how much time you will give me. Yeah. If you guys can work with me, I can show you a whole lot of things in Tableau. But if I don't get your support, then it might be strong. It might be stressful. Yeah, there's a whole lot. It's a wide area. So thank you very much, and thank you for your kind words. Please, if you have any problem, drop it on the chat on the Telegram. I will look at them. But please don't send what you can ask a friend. If it's something that can actually wait, speak to your friend about, please do it, speak to your friend about it so that I handle the more difficult things. How can we bookmark the page? Yeah, if you log on, Raphael, log on Tableau Public because you created a profile before this time. So go there, create a profile on Tableau Public. You create your own profile on Tableau Public, and then click on when you open when you open that chat I sent to you, you would see a star button. There's a star button there at the bottom under details. Bookmark it so that once you bookmark it, you will have this experience. Let me show you. Things you're working on, maybe things you are learning. And let me, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to try to share. I want to share this screen. Where are we? Yeah, here. So this is what I mean. So you can come here. This is where, take for instance, this is the one I want you guys to work on. This one. Yeah, so if you bookmark it, like I have bookmarked some things, you see them on my favorite. So anytime you come to your favorite, you would see them like this. See, I have some work that I'm working on that I just, maybe I'm trying to learn one or two things from it. So I just bookmark it for reference. So same thing, you come to this, open this up, yeah, scroll down, you would see a place here. You just press add to favorite. That keeps it for you, and then you can use it as a basis. We will talk around a lot of these things as we go. I would prefer to be with you in person on Saturday. Yeah, I would like to connect a face to who you are. And I would also like you to get more personal so that you can ask some strong questions. Yeah, I would have done that today, but for the holidays. But having said everything, thank you very much for today, and see you again on Saturday, hopefully in person, if the environment permits us. All right, stay safe. Bye.